Hi guys, another episode in my what can I do with these bits I've salvaged from the dishwasher. This is a solenoid which when I tested it the other day, when I was demonstrating things, it appears to be faulty. Got no reading measuring across the coil. So that gives me an excuse to try and take it apart. It appears to be a sealed unit, sealed in some form of hard plastic with a metal frame round the outside. So I'll just see if I can break it and see if I can get to see what the coil looks like inside. Just a bit of brute strength there. I've just bent that metal frame clear. Looks like the bottom end of it's still fixed in place though. Might have to try and tap that out with a hammer. I didn't need to hit it with a hammer. A bit of working it backwards and forwards. That's come free. I assume that's not magnetic. No. So that was just a part metal core. It didn't go all the way through, just to the back. So next thing is, can we get this plastic case apart? Well, that didn't do very much. At least it proves it's some plastic though. So I shall nibble away at it with my cutters. That's just a bit of nibbling around the edge, and we've established that that's a metal plate, or two metal plates. So, right. Don't expect the camera will show you this, but it looks like that's where the wires, the coil starts winding there. I'll switch to macro. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's visible, but I can just see a piece of copper wire on there. So I should have to start being a bit more careful. Now I'm using my craft knife to slowly work away at the grey plastic. There seems to be a black plastic former in the middle. So I'm just gently cutting little bits away with the craft knife to see if I can identify the shape. I've just got that end bit of grey plastic off, and we've got the darker, I could almost call it brown, plastic of the, I assume it's the coil former. So we're getting down slowly. I'm working on the opposite end now, because I can see there's a line round there, so I can probably get the end bit off. So that's all I'm doing, just slowly whittling it like a bit of wood. That's the other end cleared, so we've got the darker colour of the central coil former. I'll now work my way across the top here. Obviously try not to cut my thumb, because I'm cutting in the wrong direction. You should always cut away from yourself. Wouldn't surprise me if in a minute I suddenly get some shiny copper coming through here. Don't really want to cut through the coils, but that might be the next thing we see. Depends how deep inside it is that it's sealed. Okay, there we are, first sign of the coil, or the copper windings. So I'll have to be extra careful now. See if I can save it. Well, we're getting closer. Right, nearly there. I'm hoping that I haven't actually damaged any of the wires. There's a very good chance I will have done, but we'll see. Right, don't know if the camera will pick this up, but clearly I've managed to break one of the wires. Or at least one of the turns. But we're getting very close to getting it all off. So if nothing else, I'll have a source of some very fine wire. Right. There's quite a few loose looking wires there. I expect if I unwound some of those, I should eventually come to a continuous length that goes all the way across. I'll save this, I'll wrap it onto a bobbin somewhere. But there we go. That's what's inside one of those solenoids. So I'll see what I can salvage from that. Right, I've wound off the loose wire that was on the outside. I've got one tail left. What I can't find is any evidence of the wire that should have come from the centre of the coil. Right, looking at the shape of the plastic moulding here, that looks to me like there should be a wire connected to there, then going down in that slot, down into the centre of the coil, then obviously winding round it hundreds of thousands of times, and then this will be the other end of it, which would have been connected to that terminal. So we appear to be missing the bit of wire that goes down to the middle. So I've got a choice really. I can leave it as it is and just use this as a source for some nice thin wire, or I could snap the end off and see if I can find the centre of the coil, which I strongly suspect I will fail. So it might be best just to call it a day and say, look, I've got a nice bobbin of wire here, which unfortunately I've only got one end for, haven't got the other end. Bit of a shame. It would have been nice to have been able to use it in its current form, but this wire is the same sort of thickness as you get on those coils for the solar movers. Very fine stuff. So if nothing else, it's useful. I think that'll do for tonight.